Hey, good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, October 19th, pre-market. So this is the ES, and you can see that we're coming into some weekly, daily support. 43.17 is weekly, 43.19 through 43.25 daily. And we just came back to the VWAP and are consolidating at around 43.36 at the moment. So yesterday was interesting, sell-off day. I've changed my super trend indicator. This is the JATS PT super trend. It's not available to the public at this time, but you can see that my volatility levels are set so I can see when volatility is coming into the market. So I can just show these periods of high volatility, right, with the color of my version. And in normal volatility, you get the normal red green. So whenever this starts printing white, I know that I've got volatility coming into the market. And so you can see here that when you get the volatility, they're trading to the target. And over here you get the white volatility and you're trading into your range. And that's and sort of like this normal up and down floating, and then it at the end of the day had that big vol crush going into the target. And now we're drifting off of it. Um, So let's take a look at the daily range today. It is 61 points for the PT3. Hard to get a PT3 on the upside. Look for the second standard deviation, 43.75. But if you want the full range for going down, like we break that weekly one, then we can start looking at these lower targets. Um, and you'll want to, take a look at what the RTH period is after your Globex range. Available for your points, so you may not get the full 61. It may stop at the 54.50, um, just depending upon where you are. We're inside the range, so we have a Globex period of 18. We can measure that. Let's take a look at the Globex chart and see where we are as far as a range. This is NQ. Let me change this to ES since we're looking at the ES. All right, so let's get the ruler out. Measure from bottom to top. 43.20.75 up here to 43.48.75 at 27.5 points, something like that, 27 points. And you can see the Globex 3 is 18, so we're already breaking ranges, right? We're already breaking ranges. So daily 21.25. We already went through the daily PT1. So the market, really was coming down for those levels and ran into that support at the weekly daily and floated off of it. So that's the vol crushers do this, okay? So this is what I'm learning about the volatility, how they do it. So they let it up, they sell into the vent, right? And then when the event's over, that's when they can buy their premium and it floats up. So when you see this floating action after a big vol sell, that's how they do it. And this is very typical of that overnight drift. This is the drift is because they're um, selling the premium after the vol event. Okay, so we'll see if we get any more vol. It's going to have to break the weekly one, and we'll probably come down and test it, I would think. But just make sure that your slope is going higher. And as you can see yesterday, you can count on these thresholds. So we got all the way up to 7. Let's just maximize this. So you can look at these thresholds by time frame. So here's your 5 minute chart, which is a pretty basic day trading chart. And you can get an idea of where you are as far as the length of the range expansion. The higher the range expansion, the outside targets are going to get hit. So you can't get to the 2 and the 3 without, getting up here in the range. If you're below a certain threshold, you can say that you're inside the first standard deviation, right? So you can just look at your chart and know where you are just by looking at your volatility threshold. Am I inside the ones or am I outside the ones? Am I expanding? Am I contracting? So that'll give you an idea of what to expect when you get to a support resistance area. Is the volatility expanding? Is it correct contracting? Okay. So let's take a look at the real quick, your quarterly and monthly. Get my mouse over here. Okay, sorry. Volatility threshold is critical. So the daily ones, get this to move over just a second. Okay, I had a little technical difficulty, but I'm back here. The threshold of 7 yesterday captured much of the volatility, and 10 would be your outside max, but anything over, your 3 or your 4, certainly 4, 5, 6, 7 going that wide of volatility showed a pretty big range, and we were able to close on the bottom end of that range. And then it bounced after the earning, but it came all the way down to the RTH3. And now we're catching a bid off of the weekly daily. So just pay attention to where your threshold is. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty, so I'm going to cut this one short, and we'll see you in training later today. Okay.